Hello friends, very good evening and welcome to all of you. So shall we start this session? So for the smooth conduction of this demo session, you all have to follow some instruction. So during the entire session, it's a request to all of you, kindly mute your mic unless and until it is required to unmute. And whatever your queries, your doubt, your question, just ask at the end of the session. We will take a time for the doubt clarification, for the questioning answering purpose. We will dedicate some time at the end of the this demo session. And another request to all of you, kindly put your names and contact number in the chat box. So finally, shall we start the session? So whenever I'm asking a question, you have to give the answer. If I'm asking any question, you have to answer. Okay. Now finally we are going to start the session. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself because it's very important for you all to know who am I. So myself Ziaur Rahman Ansari, and I have done MTech in structural engineering, and I have work experience of almost all the sectors like government sectors, private sector, and also have worked as an assistant professor in a technical institute. And since from last few years, I am working as an independent design consultant and software trainer for all bachelor's, master's, and working professional engineers, those who want to become a structural engineer. So without of wasting time, we are going to look what are the important points that will make you a professional structural engineer. And we also trying to understand what is the gap between the academic curriculums and the requirement from the industry. It's visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you are pursuing your bachelor's, if you are pursuing your master's, or even if you are working professional as a site engineer and as a newcomers in the design field, and you want to work in the design field as a structural engineer, so what thing will make you a good professional structural engineer? That's very important to understand. So these are the some important points. These are the four pillars that will make you a good structural engineer. If you are getting the command over all these points or all these pillars, so definitely you can design any kind of structure with a confidence, and you will get uh, a job anywhere. And if you want to work as an independent design consultant, that also you can do. But for that, you need to get the command over all these points. So first of all is what, when you are facing any interview, when you are going to look for the job in a design consultancy in MNCs, so when you are facing the interview, they will ask first question, which softwares, how many softwares you are knowing, or how many softwares you are having the command. The first question they will ask, because this is the demand of the current scenario of the design consultancy design industry. So your first responsibility is to look in the market and finding out what are the current demanding softwares in the market that will help you to make a structural engineer. So I am not going to discuss what are the important softwares are there. It's your job to find what are the different softwares and their importance as per the demand of the industry. The first thing. And the next point, they will ask about your concepts, structural design concepts that might be you learn from your academics. What does mean by the beams, what does mean by the columns, what does mean by the foundations, what their purpose providing in the structure, what is the bending moment diagram, what are the different types of the beams, and based on the different types of the beam, based on the different types of the loadings, how will be the flexural behavior of the structure, what will be the bending moment diagram, what will be the shear force diagram, how the structure is going to deform under the gravitational loading, under the lateral loading, what materials you have to use for the different types of the structure. So that all basic concepts you will learn you might be learned from your academics. And that you should be very firm in the basic concepts in respect of the analysis, in respect of the design. Unless and until you are not having the deep knowledge of structural behavior, you will not become a good structural engineer. So if you have a command over some softwares, if you have command over your concepts, then next point will come into the picture about the design codes. So unless and until you are not having the a knowledge about the design codes and its clauses, its recommendation, you will not be able to become a good structural engineer. For example, if you are traveling over a road, so some guidelines you have to follow. what is the purpose and what is the need of studying the design code and what its importance I'm trying to explain. So if you are suppose traveling over the road, so you have to follow some guidelines, and if you are not following some guidelines, so what possibility is there? There is a possibility of loss of life of you also and someone others also. There also possibility of life of the property also, life of also. And the same thing is actually in the design field. If you are not having the good knowledge of the design code and its clauses, its recommendation, definitely you will end up with the uneconomical design and unstable design. So you need to look what are the important codes are there. There are many different codes are there. If you look, see, these are the different codes. So what purpose for what is the purpose of IS 456? Where you have to use IS 800 2007, where you have to use 875 part 1 part 2. Okay, what for purpose we are using IS 189 2016? What for purpose we are using IS 13920 16700, SP 34 1904? So these all are some important codes, some basic codes for the designing of the structure. And unless and until you are not having the knowledge of these important design codes, you will not able to design economical as well as sustainable and stable structure. Definitely your structure will lead to uneconomical, and there will be the possibility of failure of your structure over a certain period, after a certain time. So third responsibility is what you have to study these codes. That's very important. So finally, suppose you are having the knowledge of the software, you have a structural concept, your design code, that's not enough. That's not enough. This will make you a knowledgeable person, but not an experienced person. And whenever you are going to find the job in any consultancy, they will ask about your experience. How many year of experience is there, and how many number of projects, real life projects you have dealt, how many real life structures you have designed. Means every structure has its own difficulty, has unique difficulty. Your architecture plan, someone other's architecture plans, and then someone other architecture plan will be different. Site conditions will be different, weather conditions will be different, everything will be different. And likewise your difficulty level will also be different, and challenges will you have to take the challenges for every different projects, and that will actually the experience for the new with the new project. So these are the four pillars. If you are getting the command over all these four pillars, so definitely you will become a good structural engineer. This is actually the need of the current design industry. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So after having the look over these requirements, okay, we have prepared this training. It has RCDC and Excel software for the complete building design. Okay, so here all that requirements we are trying to cover. Here we are trying to cover all that requirements. So to use the software, first of all, you need to get the familiar with the software. Unless and until you are not familiar with the software, how you can utilize that? So in the first, this complete training is divided into 3 sections. In the first section, we are trying to make you familiar with the software. We will discuss all the commands of the softwares, and very detailed discussion will be there. Validation of software will also be there. What does mean by the validation of software? It is the software. If you are giving the input wrong, definitely you will get the output. Can anyone tell me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you are giving the input wrong, definitely you will get the output wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is the software. So you need to know, first you have to validate the software, whether your software is giving the right result or not. That is also included in the training. Commands will be there, and then we will take a simple dummy project will be there. Dummy project will be there, and the objective of this first section is what? To make you familiar with the software, with the modeling, with the validation, with the commands, everything. And once you get the familiar with the software, when we go for the next section, there will be what? Real life project will be there. medium rise real life project will be there, and with this project, in that project we will learn everything. I will take it later in the next 1 hour. You will understand everything what is actually included in this training. Then we will go for the high rise structure and the medium rise structure. In the second section we will take design, scheduling, detailing, modeling, everything, reading of architectural drawing, everything we are trying to cover. Scheduling and detailing also, and then how to prepare the design report, that also we will take. And manually scheduling and detailing of each structural elements like beams, columns, slabs, staircase, foundation, everything. Then we will go for the high rise structure. All the advanced methods of analysis, advanced loading like earthquake, wind, everything we will discuss in detail. And some Excel sheets will also share with you, that is advanced Excel sheets for the design of individual structural elements. So overall, this complete training has been formed to make you professional structural engineer. Here we are not going to deal only this software. Here we are going to deal structural engineering. Here we are going to deal is exactly structural engineering. Understood? Hello, shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to deal any project, it is very important to follow correct design step. As a beginner, if you are going to practice, so you have to follow some guidelines, some steps. So in the first step is what you have to first read the architectural drawing. So you should have a knowledge about how to read the architectural drawing. So different types of architectural drawing you will have from the architect. So you might be know, it might be known to you, known to all of you, what is the flow of completion of any project. So owner will come to architect, then architect will prepare the plan as per the availability of the space of the owner and requirement of the owner and municipal corporation restriction. Based on all these requirements, architecture will plan the land, and that architectural plan, after its finalization from the architect, will come to the structural engineer. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
then
sir.
structural engineer work gets started. So first step is what you have to understand the architectural drawing. That's very important. You first have to understand the architectural drawing. So unless and until you are not able to understand the architectural drawing, you will not be able to prepare the model, to create the model. So very first thing is what? First understand the architectural drawing. What type of building is there? Okay, some preliminary decisions you have to make. What type of building is there? How many number of floor is there? What is the floor to floor height is there? What type of foundation will be suitable on that site? What is the orientation of the building? Where it is oriented? Where is the bedroom? Where is the WC bathroom area is there? So that all things you have to understand carefully. What type of building is there, based on its utility, based on its geometry, based on its structural behavior. Many factors are there. I will take in detail in the training. So basically, overall is what you have to understand the architectural drawing, and then you will be able to prepare the correct model. Okay, now let's see this kind of architectural drawing you will have. See, this is the architectural drawing. This is also one architectural drawing. As I told you, all the architectural drawings will be different. And if the architectural drawing is different, then modeling will be different and next steps will be different. So basic thing is what you should have a knowledge of how you can read the architectural drawing. Is that okay? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This kind of architectural drawing. So
Okay, sir.
any kind of architectural drawing you will have, any kind of project you will have, and if you are a structural engineer, you have to tackle that you have to deal that project if you are taking, and that is nothing but the real life project, and that will give you real exposure to the industry. So after having this architecture plan, what next step is there? So preparing the beam layout with the finalized column position. What next step is there? You have to prepare the beam layout. You have to prepare the beam layout. So what does mean the beam layout? That is important to know. what does mean by the structural framing plan? That is important to know. So basically, once you have the architecture plan, your next responsibility is to position the column. Your next responsibility is what? To position the column over your architectural plan. And many very detailed discussion is there in our training. We are taking 2 to 3 hours for the completion of this topic, how to position the column. There are 4 important points, because see, your structural stability is mainly depends on the columns. Your entire structural stability is mainly depends on your column. Hello, you all are with me? Am I audible?
Ji.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Are you agreed with my statement? Your structural stability are mainly
Yes,
depends
sir.
with the column. Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
Suppose a
yes.
Yes.
structure is there. Let's try to understand. Suppose a structure
Yes,
is there
sir.
like this. Just for your understanding, see, suppose structure is there. Okay. And yeah, this beam is there. This beam is there. This is the beam. This is the beam. Let me change the color. This is the first beam. This is the second beam. This is the first, and this is the beam. So let's say suppose this beam is going to be another. I'm taking one more line here. Okay, now tell me, if suppose this beam is going to be fail, suppose this beam is going to be fail, so it is possible that your entire structure is going to be fail.
Yes.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is not possible, because if suppose this beam is going to fail, so surrounding area is going to be affected. Only this beam is going to be fail, so surrounding area is going to be affected up to certain extent. But it is not possible that your structure is going to be fail completely. Your structure is going to be fall completely. Correct? Am I right?
Ji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
in another situation, suppose this column is going to be fail. So it is not possible. Is it possible or not to get the entire structure to be fail? Hello?
No, sir.
Is it possible or not that your
No.
entire structure is going to be fail?
Yes, it is possible.
Yes. Is it possible? So that's why we are giving the more focus and more concentration over your column. All the decision in respect of your column. So what should be the preliminary size of the column? What should how to position your column? Where to position your column? How to orient your column? Three important points are there in respect of the column that we are taking in very detailed way in our training. So what are those? First, preliminary size of the column. Preliminary preliminary size of column. Second, position of column. Position of column. And third one is the orientation of the column. Orientation of column. How to orient the column? Some number of points are there. Many number of points are there to decide the orientation of the column, to decide the position of the column, and how you can find out the preliminary size of the column. That's also important. So if you are not if you are not finding the correct position of the column, so there will be the possibility of failure of your structure. If you are not finding the correct position of the column, there will be the possibility of the failure of the structure, and there also possibility of uh, uneconomical design of your structure. And also that same role will be played by the third option as orientation of the column. So it's another very important point to decide the orientation of the column. And this will definitely lead your structure design as economical or uneconomical. If you are finding the correct position or correct orientation, definitely your structure will be economical. But if you are not having the good knowledge of structural engineering and all these points, how to position the column, how to decide the sizes of the column, how to orient the column, definitely your structure will be uneconomical. We are also discussing the point, if you are taking one more extra column, if you are not having a good knowledge of positioning of the column, so definitely you will end up with the extra number of column. So that is not the case to provide the extra number of column to get the stability. That is not. So if you are providing one extra column, that is ultimately you are leading your structure to your structure design as uneconomical. So that all points we are taking in our training in very detailed way. So basically, to prepare the framing plan, you have a good knowledge of positioning of the elements, preliminary sizes of the columns, preliminary sizes of the beams. So see, we have a steps, and we have some text contents that we will share in the training with all the participants, how you can decide the sizes of the column, preliminary sizes. Without of having the preliminary sizes of this section, you will not be able to create the model. Okay, without of having the preliminary sizes of this section, you will not be able to prepare the model. So to prepare the model, you should have the some preliminary sizes of the columns and all the structural element, not only the column, beam, column, slabs. For all the elements, you have to decide the preliminary sizes. So to decide the preliminary sizes, some guidelines are very important. So some guidelines we are discussing in the training in a very detailed way. Then there is some important points for deciding the positioning of the column and orientation of the column. So that all points we are taking in a detailed way. So based on the recommendations, we can decide the preliminary sizes. Then we are also doing some simple calculation to find the preliminary sizes of the column. See, these Excel sheets, many Excel sheets we are using during this entire training to complete the project. So how you can find the preliminary sizes of column? So we have this sheet. So this sheet will finally give you what width of the column is required and what depth of the column is required at preliminary stage. At a preliminary stage. So after having this beam layout, and preparing the center line plan and structural framing plan, we have to form the grid lines. We have to form these grid lines over your structural framing plan. And after having this structural framing plan and grid line over the structural framing plan, your work will be completed with the CAD software. Then you can move with the ETABS software. Hello, you all are with me?
Yes, sir.
J.
Sir.
Yes. So just come to ETABS software. So first thing, with the basic setting in the ETABS software, you have to come to this window. And we have to form these grid lines. So this grid line means what? These actually the reference line. And without of having the reference lines, you will not be able to create your exact model. So these grid lines, there are different methods. Offset point method is there, and ETABS quick template method is there, and import export method is there. So all that methods is very important to learn. And their suitability for the application is different. Based on different situation, different condition, you have to go with the different methods. As offset point method is there, ETABS quick template option is there, and export import method is there. If your architectural geometry is simple, then you can prepare this simple geometry in simple way. But if your architectural plan is very irregular like this, so it is not possible to create it manually in the ETABS software. In the ETABS software, you will not be able to create the grid lines for this kind of project. So in that situation, what you have to do? You have to export this drawing center line plan in the ETABS software directly. So how to do that? That we are taking in the training in detail. So coming back, so after having these grid lines, the next step, you have to position the column. So we are trying to position the column. So many commands are there, many methods are there, and detailed discussion is there, how you can position the column, how to orient the column, and how to change the orientation of the column in the ETABS software. So let's see, suppose we have positioned our column as per your beam layout. as per your beam layout and structural framing plan, you have to position you have to position your column in the software. Okay, and after positioning of the column over the height of your structure, after positioning of the column, next step is what? You have to model the beams. You have to model the beams. So you have to prepare, you have to model beam like this. So this is the beam we have modeled over the plan or in the 3D view. So column we have modeled, beam we have modeled. So modeling is done for the columns and beams, and many discussions are there for the modeling of the beams. If it is a straight beam is there, how you can model? If the curved beam is there, how you can model? If any irregular geometry of the beam is there, how you can model? That we are taking a detailed, because always simple beam will not be there if you are practicing for the real life project. All other training centers, what they do, they are just taking a simple project of modeling. Simple beams will be there, so that will not make you a professional structural engineer. So you have a knowledge and you have a command to model any type of structure, because see, analysis will be same for every project, design will be same for every project, scheduling will be same for every project, everything will be same. What different will be there? Can anyone tell me what different will be there?
Existing conditions.
Existing anyone
Conditions
else?
of the site.
Yes,
The
others?
geometry
Geometry of the
of
structure.
the
Yes,
structure.
Sachin is most correct. Geometry of the structure, or in more clear way we can say architectural plan. Architectural plan will always be different. So modeling may become a complicated for you. Modeling may become complicated for you. And next, analysis will be same, design will be same, scheduling, detailing, everything will be same. Only the difference will be what? Your modeling. So more focus we are giving in the first section with the modeling. We are making you comfort with the modeling. So all types of situation, all types of possibilities we are trying to cover. Okay, so coming back to our discussion. So after modeling of the beams, we are going to model the slabs. Next, we are modeling the slabs over the entire floor. See, 3D model we are trying to look. So like this, we are modeling the slabs, and then we are going to assign the loading and everything we are trying to do. And to start the modeling, definitely you need to define some material properties, some section properties. Okay, so that's very important. What material you have to use for the medium rise structure, what material you have to use for the high rise structure in respect of your concrete. So you need to look the design codes. That's why I'm telling you should have a good knowledge of the design codes and its clauses. So finally, suppose we are having this model. So after having this model, what next responsibility is there? To check your model, whether your model is right or wrong. Because see, if your model is wrong, definitely your analysis will be wrong. And if your analysis is wrong, definitely your design will be wrong, your schedule will be wrong, your detail will be wrong. Am I right or wrong? Hello?
Hello. Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
that's why it is very important for you all to make sure that your model is correct. See, in the ETAP software, when you are working, I'm sharing with my students that with the every step, with the every action, three things are there. How many? Hello?
3.
Three. So first is what? Actually the step. First is what? Actually the step. Before of the step, some settings will be there, and after the step, some checkings will be there. Hello? Can anyone repeat this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Checking will be there.
Setting will be there before of the step, and after of the step, what will be there?
Checking.
Checking will be there before and after every. So suppose we are
Yes, sir.
talking about the modeling. So before of modeling, setting means what? Means defining of the load combination, defining of the load patterns, what loads we have to assign, material properties, section properties, and very brief discussion is there. So
Yes,
that
sir.
comes under the setting before of your modeling. then you are going to perform the modeling. That is actually the step. And after the completion of the modeling, what will be there?
Checking the model. No,
Checking.
sir.
Very good. So we have to check our model whether it is right or wrong. So you have to perform the check for your model, and you should have a good knowledge how to perform the check for your modeling. So for an example, you are getting this kind of error. If you have done your modeling in a wrong way, suppose, see here, if the model is there, go to analyze, go to check model, select all these checks and say okay. So it will take some time and will give you intimation that whether is there modeling error or not. It takes some time definitely. So see, no model has been checked, no warning messages were generated, means that our model is perfect. We can go for the next step. So see, suppose suppose you are going to check your model and you are getting this kind of modeling errors. How many number of errors are there? Hello,
Lots of number, no, sir.
sorry.
I'm not seeing properly.
Okay, it's not visible.
Yes, sir. 260 warning messages.
Yes,
sir.
yes, 260 warning messages are there. So with these much warnings and modeling errors, you can proceed, you can't proceed for the analysis and for the design, or we can say for the next step. First
Yes,
you
sir.
have to overcome these warnings and these modeling errors. You have to resolve these errors. So how to resolve that errors, we are taking in a very detailed way. Okay, so finally let's see, we have cleared our model. Now we are on the verge of going for the next step. So before of the analysis, basically next step is what? See, I am taking the look over the analysis steps. So first is what? You have to read the architectural plan, then preparing the beam layout, then importing the center plan in the ETAP software, or preparing the center line or grid lines in the ETAP software itself. Then modeling of the structure, fourth step. Fourth step is what? Modeling of the structure by defining the material section property. And after the completion of the modeling, you have to go for the check for your model. And after the model to be verified for its errors, we are going for the analyzing of the structure. But before of analysis, you have to do some settings. Setting means what? You have to define the load combinations. So service load combination is there, factor load combination is there. And what is the meaning of the service load combination, factor load combination, and how many load combination you have to use for medium rise structure, for the high rise structure, and when different types of the load patterns are there. So very detailed discussion is there also in respect of the load combination. So that's we are taking in a very detailed way. Okay, so after having the having all the settings before of analysis, we can proceed for the analysis. So what you have to do, you have to perform the analysis. And before of that, one point is there, what does mean by the releases, where to assign the releases, what does mean the primary beams, what does mean by the secondary beams, what does mean by the membrane element, what does mean by the shell elements. So these all points were not taken by the others. They are not giving the concentration over all these points. And when you go for practicing for the real life project, so you need to know these all things, very important for you to know all these. What does mean by the releases, where to assign the releases, why we are assigning the releases, when to consider the membrane element, when to consider the shell elements, how much loading you have to assign over the structure, and where you will get the densities of the materials. It means I'm talking about the codes. Your IS 875 part 1 will give you all the densities of the materials, like brick is there, concrete is there, PCC is there, glass is there, sand is there. So their densities you will get from where? Can anyone tell me? You are getting the densities of the material from which software, from which code? Exactly, Deshmukh, correct. IS 875
Yes, sir.
part
Part 1.
1.
Part
And
1.
then for assigning of the live load, suppose you are dealing the industrial building, you are dealing the commercial building, whatever the type of
Yeah.
building you are going to deal. So what thing is there?
There is a
how
difference of
much live load you
load.
have to assign. So IS
Yes, sir.
875 part 2 will give you idea about how you can
Yeah.
assign the load over the structure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so see, that's very important to know. So after assigning all the loads before of the analysis, you have to complete your model with the assignments of the loading, and how you can see the loadings and all. That's here is not the time to show. Now next step is what? You can perform the analysis. So just click over this run analysis. So many options are there to perform the analysis. So after the completion of the analysis, you will have this kind of deformed structure. Then next is to verify whether your analysis has been completed, has been done correctly or not. That is to check. Hello, am I audible?
जी सर.
Yes.
Yes. So how you can check whether your analysis has been done correctly or not? So there is an option in the ETAP software. I'm not going to discuss that. So see that through that option, you have to verify where the analysis has been done or not correctly by the ETAP software. Then you have to check the bending moment diagram, shear force diagram. Just go to display for the particular load combination. I would like to see the bending moment. Say apply. So this is what the bending moment diagram of all the beams and all the columns.
Sir, one question is there. Why we take
See, your
moment
question.
M3?
Just ask your question at the end of the session. Hello.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay, no problem.
just write your question where anywhere. We will see the question and answer session at the end. Okay,
Okay, sir.
we will take.
Okay, no
But
problem.
okay, so see the bending moment diagram will be there. How much movements are coming, and if you want to see the shear force diagram, so you need to look to. So most of the working professionals also and newcomers in the design field also knowing very well about where to see movement along 3-3, movement along 2-2. But why we are looking movement along 2-3-3? Why we are looking along movement along 2-2? That's we are taking. So in this training, that it is not objective to show the things. Here we are trying to give the behind the scene, what actually the concept behind the scene. Okay. So after having this bending moment diagram, shear force diagram, axial force distribution in your column, and many things are there. Many things are there. Time doesn't allow to discuss all those things. So after having this result, we can proceed for the design. So design. So how to perform the design? What important things you need to know before of the design? How to set the things before of design? So that all things is there, and after setting all those things you have to perform the design. So this will take some time to show the result. So this is the design result. So these numbers you are getting, just right click over to off this grid line. Okay, so see these numbers we are having. So what it means, so these are the reinforcement by the area or the different location, different positions. So these all things are available here, and you should have an idea how to read how to read this design report, design output. And if some element is going to be failed, suppose the one column is going to be failed, so how you can make this column to be passed? How you can make this column to be passed? Can anyone tell me? Suppose one column we are getting as failed. Okay, so what you have to do to make that column to be passed?
रिसाइज कर सकते हैं सर, और उसका ओरिएंटेशन
Exactly, very good. So see, most of the professionals and trainings, in the training they will tell you just increase the section. So it is the solution. Hello, it is the solution. No, it is not the solution. Increasing the
जी
section size is not the solution. First, you have to find what is the reason of the failure. It is going to be long column, it is going to be experience more movement, so that you have to find first. So detailed design report you need to look by just right clicking over the element, go to details. So we are discussing in a very detailed way what points you have to take care from here in the design report, and after looking over that you can correct this design or you can make this structure element to be passed by changing the orientation, by making say effective length factor as changeable. Okay, so many things are there to discuss. So it is not the meaning always to increase the section size, so that is not the way. Many other options are there. So before of that you need to look what is the reason of the failure. Okay, so after all, suppose finally we are getting our structure to be passed at all the location, and you have to make sure that all the members pass the design check. So see, verify all members pass. See, all the concrete frame pass the design check. Now it's okay. Now finally another option is what, it is not the concern of the structural engineer to make all the structural element to be passed. It is not the concern of the structural engineer. What is actually the concern of the structural engineer is can anyone tell me? The actual concern of the structural engineer is to optimize the design result. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is what the responsibility of the structural engineer is to optimize the design result. So how you can optimize the design result, how you can reduce the percentage of reinforcement in your column, in your beam, and in all structural elements that we are taking, that we are sharing with you. Okay, now after, see, with the TAP software, we are what we are doing, we are designing the slab by using the Excel sheets, and we see many Excel sheets are there. We are taking the help of these Excel sheets for the completion of the project. See, design of one-way slab, simply supported, continuous, cantilever slab, all types of slabs you can design using these Excel sheet. So we are taking the help of this Excel sheet for the designing of the slab, and most of the consultants, they are following this step and this procedure of of designing the structural element as slab. So one-way slab is there. Another design sheet we are having for the designing of two-way slab. So these are very excellent and verified design sheets, was prepared by the consultants. I have prepared these sheets with the help of the working professional, working consultants. Okay, so using this Excel sheet, you can design the slab. Also, some other Excel sheets are there for the designing of stress. Kindly mute your mic, who is there? Okay, so Excel sheet for the designing of staircase also there. That will give the design report also, detailing report also, detailing values there, scheduling values are there. Okay, so after having using these Excel sheets, you can design the columns also. You can design the slab also. You can also design the foundation also. Very interesting sheet is there for the designing of the foundation. So these all sheets we are using for the completion of the project. For the completion of the project, and these all sheets we are sharing with our participants, those who has enrolled in our training. So these sheets we are providing to you. So this will be there, and after the completion of this thing, we are going to prepare the schedule in respect of the design output. In respect of this design output, we are going to prepare the schedule, and many things are there while the designing and after designing or before of the scheduling. How many percentage of reinforcement your code is allowed for the column, for the beams. Okay, so every point of IS codes we are taking. Okay, so after completion of this design, we are, see, can anyone tell me, can we send this model on site for the site execution? Why it is
No,
needed to
sir.
perform? Hello, can we send it?
No.
No, sir.
No, we can't send this because see, we have to say we can't send these the models and these reports on site directly. We have to send the scheduling and detailing on site. So can anyone
Yes,
tell
sir.
me what does mean by the schedule and detail in simple way?
Sir, column schedule, beam schedule, slab
No.
schedule.
What does mean by the scheduling
Estimate.
and detailing? Can anyone tell me? With hello?
Detailing means explaining the bar bending schedule, sir.
Yeah, that's also correct. But I'm asking in general.
टाइम
The
बचाने
beam
के लिए
mark,
और
the beam mark
आसानी
on the plan.
No.
Sir, please revise the question, please.
See, I'm asking what does mean by the scheduling and detailing in simple.
There is a beam numbers and bottom bar, top
No.
bar.
In general, I'm asking. Okay, answer is what? That is what? That is the summary of your design. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Summary of is simple. That is
Design,
the answer. Summary of your design.
design.
Okay. So
Yeah,
after having this model with its design, we are structural engineer. We are knowing this section size safe, this much percentage, this much number of bars, and this much. This arrangement is okay for this structure.
yeah, sir.
Okay, so that idea, that conclusion, and that model we can't send on site. With that
Yeah,
model,
sir.
the site engineer working labor, they can't execute the site. So we have to and also we can't send a detailed report. If you are looking for one design column, so 3 to 4 pages are there for only one column. So suppose if you are dealing the high-rise structure, suppose 1,000 columns are there, based on the floor wise, 2,000 beams are there. Okay, 2,000
This is
slabs
not.
are there. So if you are going to prepare the report, so can you imagine how many
No,
number of
this is
pages
not.
will be there?
Yes,
Is it possible?
yes, sir. No, sir. It is
No.
not possible.
That's why the scheduling means what? Summary of your design. And we have to send the summary of the design on site, so that the site engineer and working people, they can execute the site. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are preparing the schedule of the beams. Okay, summary, how much reinforcement required at the bottom, how much reinforcement required at the top, at the mid, and
Yes, sir. Yes,
what
sir.
will the
Yes, sir.
behavior of the structure. So you have to, you should have a command how you can read this design output. And unless and until you are not having the knowledge how to read the design output, you will not be able to prepare this schedule.
Yes, sir.
So first we are dedicating 2 to 3 days or 4 days, and each session will be of 2 hours for preparing the schedule of the beams. And before of that, we are taking the detailing of the beams. Where to provide the main bars, where to provide the distribution bars, and how to curtail the bars. What does mean by the development length? What is the formula for the development length? Okay, so simultaneously we are taking the care of your theoretical knowledge, your practical knowledge, your IS code recommendation, everything we are trying to cover. So we are preparing the beam layout, beam schedule, column schedule, foundation design is there, foundation schedule, foundation slab, floor slab schedule, everything manually, not using the software. See, without of having the knowledge of manually consideration, manually deal of the preparing the schedule, you can't. It is not the way to go for the software. Software is just a tool. Software is just a tool. I have taken this point in the start also. Software is just a tool. If you are giving the input wrong, you are getting the output wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you should have a command to how to utilize the software, and you will get the command how you can utilize the software uh, only when you have the practical or manual knowledge, manual information. So that's why, see, we are taking the all these things manually. How many number of columns you can, number of bars you can set in the section of the column. See, this is the section how to provide the shear reinforcement, how to adjust the number of bars, and what should be the distance, what should the distance between the two bars. Your code says that minimum distance between the two bars, longitudinal bars, should be 25. But if you go, code is saying 25. That's correct, no problem, theoretically, and as per the recommendation of the code. But if you are looking practically, so that is not sufficient. So simultaneously we are taking the care of practical requirement also, your theoretical and technical requirement also. So your code says that it should be 25, but if you are going to practically, so experts recommend that should be minimum 30 to 40 between the two bars, longitudinal distance between the two bars for the easy placement of the bars, placement of your concretes and slurry, and for proper vibration, and to avoid the honeycombing. Okay, so while preparing the schedule and detail, 3 points you need to take care. One is your design requirement. Design requirement means what? How many number of bars is required to provide in your section. So design requirement. Second one is the detailing requirement. Detailing requirement is what? Suppose, okay, 4 bars are there. Suppose 4 bars is, suppose section is there. You all are with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
suppose
sir.
for design requires that for a particular section, let's say 600 by, okay, 600 by 230 is there, and design requirement is what? 4 number of bars is sufficient to carry the load, whatever the load coming to this column, 4 number of bars is okay. But detailing requirement is what? What detailing requirement is there? So IS code says that maximum
Minimum 8
spacing.
numbers of dia, sir.
That's not a
Minimum.
discussion. Wait, see, sorry here. Size of the section is 230 by 600, and the design is going to be satisfied with the 4 number of bars. So see, but it is okay for the design purpose, but detailing requirement is different. Detailing requirement says that your spacing between the two bars, longitudinal bars, should not be more than 300. Am I right or wrong? Hello, am I right?
Right? You are
Yes.
right, sir.
Yes. So this is what your design requirement is for. So that should be okay. But the detailing requirement doesn't allow this arrangement. So to break the spacing, we need to provide additional bar in between of these. So while preparing the schedule and detail, 3 points you need to take care. One is your design requirement, then your detailing requirement, and third one is your site requirement. Can anyone
Yes,
tell
sir.
me? Repeat this once.
Yes, sir. The detailing. Sorry.
Design requirement, detailing
Detailing
requirement,
requirement
and third one
and
is
site
what?
requirement.
Site
Site
requirement.
requirement.
Okay, it is not like that. See, आपने क्या किया कि सारे reinforcement बहुत ज्यादा क्लोज प्रोवाइड कर दिया और बहुत इरेगुलर आपने ऑफिस में बैठ के सारा डिजाइन करके दे दिया. But that should be practicable, that should be applicable, and that should be easy for the execution on site. That also you need to take care. Is that okay? So brief discussion is there for that. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So coming back, so see, finally we are going to complete this the scheduling and detailing. Then we are going to prepare this. Then see, first we are discussing all these things manually. Now after the completion, these all things manually. So if you are going to do this thing manually, so it will takes lot of time.
Yes, sir.
That's why to save your time, a new software will come into the picture whose name is RCDC software. Okay, so what purpose for RCDC software we are using? See, hello, is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is with you.
So the
Yes,
time
sir.
required for completion of scheduling and detailing, if you are going to do manually, and if you are beginner in this field or beginner in this field, so this will take around 1 and 2 days for the completion of the project with its scheduling and detailing manually. So this much time we are not having for releasing the drawing for the site execution. So we need to take some help of the softwares. So
Yes, sir.
RCTC software is there in the market that is in demand, and that we are going to take in our training also. So in this software, the time required for the completion, suppose it is 5 hour, 10 hour, or 1 day. So that work you can do with this RCTC software within a minute. Within a minute, you can complete your work. The work that is required to complete 1 day, that will be completed within within 5 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. we can say. So how to export? There is a linking. Kindly mute your mic. There is a linking between your ETABS software and your RCTC software. So RCTC software is a 2D software. It is not for the modeling of the structure. In this RCTC software, this software will design the element, will schedule the element, and will detail the element. The purpose of RCTC software and the application of the RCTC software is what? Designing, scheduling, and detailing. Modeling you can't do here, and analysis you can do here. So RCTC software demands analysis report, analysis input. So analysis input we are taking from the ETABS software in the RCTC software, and then finally we are preparing the input for the beam for our current project. So after having this input, we are going in a single click by some basic settings that I will take in training in detail. Okay, so finally we are having this design output. How much reinforcement required at the bottom, how much reinforcement at the top, shear reinforcement, everything we are having in a single click within a minute. Now also this will give you details of the beams, where to position the everything you are having automatically by having some settings. Then we can proceed for the see, for the columns also you have to just import the analysis report to the software, RCTC software. Then RCTC software will adjust all these things by the settings, and then finally will give the design output in this format. How much number of bars are required, how much shear reinforcements are required, that all things will be available here. And also this will give you a percentage, how much percentage required at a particular floor at a and how much reinforcement by the percentage of the section. Will all the things will be available by the floor wise, and by the section wise, and by the columns wise. Now next you will have the detail, you can get the details also automatically. So you can imagine if you are doing all these things manually, it will take hell lot of time. Am I right? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are right, sir.
Also you can design the slabs with this software. Also you can prepare the schedule and detail of the slab reinforcement here also like this. Then finally you can design the foundation also here. So very interesting and very amazing software is there. So using this software you can prepare all these things automatically, and you can save your time for the completion of the project. Is that clear? Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So after completion of this medium rise structure, we are moving for the next section where we are dealing the high rise structure. We are dealing with the high rise structure. This kind of structure we are taking high rise structure, and some important points we are taking for the high rise structure. And see, in the high rise structure, advanced modeling commands in the ETABS software we are taking in plan and height, in plan geometry and geometry over the height. What does mean by the structure, stiffness, strain, ductility. So these all are the advanced concepts to deal with the high rise structure. So modeling commands we are taking. Okay, then detailed discussion will be there for the earthquake loading. So we are having the Excel sheet for the calculation of the loads for the high rise structure. So seismic load, how you can calculate manually using the Excel sheet is there. Wall load for the high rise structure, how you can calculate, Excel sheet is there. And then wind load, many methods are there to perform the wind load, to calculate the wind load over your structure manually, and ETABS will also assign that load automatically for the high rise structure. So both of the methods we are taking in our training for the high rise structure also. Okay, so see, methods of analysis for the earthquake. What are the different methods? Static method is there, dynamic method is there. So when to perform the static method, dynamic method, what are the linear static method, linear dynamic method, linear. So all that points we are trying to cover here, all the advanced topics. How to position the shear wall, how to maintain the stiffness of your structure. For the stability of high-rise structure, your stiffness of the structure plays an important role. And when you can say the high-rise structure, when you can say it is the low-rise structure, that's important discussion that we are taking. What does mean the Moodle analysis? What does mean the P delta analysis? What does mean the live load reduction? How to perform the live load reduction in ETAP software? Concept of the property modifier. Why we are assigning the property modifier for the high-rise structure? Concept of the diaphragm, assignment of the diaphragm, torsional irregularity check. So all that things we are trying to cover. Suppose see this kind of structure is there. So in structure the codal requirement is there. In your structure there should not be torsional irregularity. It means that after having the Moodle analysis, what does mean by the Moodle analysis? We are taking in the training in detail. So suppose you are going to perform the analysis and you are having this kind of result for the high-rise structure. So as you can see in the first mode, there is a translational movement only. Your structure is moving along only in y direction. In the second mode, you are having the translation along in the x direction only. In the third mode, you are having the torsion. So this behavior of the structure under the all application of the loading is acceptable. But suppose in the second mode, you are having the torsion. In the second mode, you are having the torsion. So that is not recommended by the code. And where these all recommendations are given, we are taking in detail. In respect of IS 1893-2016. What code we have to refer for the designing of the high-rise structure? See, this IS 1893-2016 code is there, IS 13920 code is there, IS 16700 code is there. So this is the code for the dealing of the high-rise structure. So that's all we are trying to cover in a very detailed way. Is that okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this is all over the coverage of this training. Okay, now next, see, after the completion of this training, see what, see this kind of a report you have to prepare. This kind of report you have to prepare finally for sending on site for the site execution. This is the schedule. So how to prepare this, that also we are taking in our training. We are trying to make you perfect professional structural engineer, not like others to make on to share only the commands of the software. So here you are not going to learn the software. Here you are going to learn structural engineer. I hope you are understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the drawing for the foundation. This is for the drawing, and after the completion of this complete training, you will have
Sir.
the ISO. Yes, wait.
Sir, ये
Just we are going to conclude. Then we are taking your query, sir. Hello,
okay,
Imran
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thanks for your patience, sir. Please.
Okay, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Okay. See, yes. So finally, you are having this kind of after the completion of training, government approved certificate you are going to get. So if you are bachelor's, if you are master's, so you will get this kind of certificate that will help you for your interview, for your job, for your placement. So this is what this all things you will get. And during the training, see, as you all come to know that we are providing the daily live session will be there in the evening from 7:30 to 9 p.m. and the training will be for 30 to 45 days, and this training is going to be start from 1st of August. And in every session we are taking the question and answer, and you are open to discuss everything. Like this, I am taking the training and we are trying to create the class wise scenario. One side conversation will not be there. Here I am saying you to stop to don't say anything, but in training we are allowing to say anytime. Okay, and then recorded videos we are providing next day of the training, next day of the session, and that will be available with you long life with the private access. And all the study materials that we are using during the training, throughout the completion of the training, we are sharing with you. In respect of the CAD drawing, in respect of the Excel sheets, whatever is there, we are providing you. and then here we will focus to all individual participants. So this is all about this training, and see, this training is going to be start from 1st of August, and registration has been started from now.